Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 origin continent based on novel. So let's start. Huyang City, within the quiet room of the city owner's mansion, inside the Star Tower space. Ever since obtaining the Eye of Life and Death, the world Luo Feng saw was different. He was comprehensively organizing his knowledge system, perfecting one secret technique after another. Master, Morosa communicated mentally. Luo Feng slowly opened his eyes, temporarily halting his cultivation. Morosa, what is it? Without something significant enough, Morosa did not dare to disturb him. Master, the White Demon Monarch and Lan Jua Monarch of the Thunder Ancient Country have secretly dispatched their subordinates to quietly plunder some border kingdoms, and within the Thunder Ancient Country for about 70 eras, communicated Morosa. 70 eras of accumulated plundering is a tremendously large number of creatures. Luo Feng slightly frowned. The last time he acted, he primarily targeted the top 10 great sinners on the land of origin, such as the ancient royal family godly kings, emperors, monarchs, who were hiding in the capital's dens, or in Mount Leitang. Luo Feng couldn't do anything back then, so he chose to lure the snake out of its hole to bring out Di Yuan. Killing Di Yuan served to deter the land of origin. Since the establishment of the Galaxy Divine Kingdom, over 370 eras, I haven't taken action again, Luo Feng said softly. As long as no more great sins are committed, I will let bygones be bygones. Who would have thought, my temper is still too good. Letting bygones be bygones was also a tacit understanding between the Galaxy Divine Kingdom and the two ancient countries at that time. After all, Luo Feng couldn't do anything to primogenitor Yang Feng, Thunder Ancestor. Many things still required a step back. Master, your temper is too good. In my opinion, you should regularly patrol the land of origin. Kill those found committing great sins, said Morosa. Master, you are busy cultivating. Such tasks of patrolling the land of origin can be completely entrusted to me. Discover a great sinner, kill one. Regularly. Kill until these great sinners are frightened, Morosa continued. Then those emperors, monarchs would no longer dare to hold on to lucky hopes. What you say makes sense, Luo Feng said. By the way, how did you find out about this matter? It was reported by Emperor Gui Shu. I'll send the detailed intelligence to the master. Morosa immediately sent the complete intelligence. Luo Feng checked it. Such detailed intelligence. It doesn't quite match Emperor Gui Shu's style of handling things. Buzz. Luo Feng's Eye of Life and Death at his brow opened, looking towards the galaxy capital of the Divine Kingdom, at a glance, seeing Emperor Gui Shu, and also noticing Wuxin God King in Emperor Gui Shu's cave mansion. Does this matter have something to do with Wuxin God King? Luo Feng pondered. Wuxin God King was cautious in his actions with excellent stealth techniques, capable of uncovering such detailed intelligence. Of course, Luo Feng would not fully trust this intelligence. Believing whoever complains directly would make him a tool for others' manipulation. The intelligence recorded some important subordinates of the White Demon Monarch and Lan Jua Monarch. Luo Feng saw these names and generated causality. Using the Eye of Life and Death, he instantly locked onto one target after another. Luo Feng's Eye of Life and Death lock was clearer than that of an ordinary godly king ultimate realm targeting. Old Chen God King. Luo Feng locked onto a godly king of the first realm, Old Chen God King being the key figure under Lan Jua Monarch responsible for the plunder. I knew it. Shouldn't have plundered within the Thunder Ancient Country's borders. But the monarchs forced my hand. Old Chen God King was restless in his cave mansion. After 70 eras of plundering, the accumulation is too much and the impact too great. Multiple royal godly kings have traced this matter. The act of plunder by the subordinates sent by White Demon Monarch and Lan Duo Monarch, even within the Thunder ancient country, was no secret within the royal family. But this matter was a huge scandal, temporarily suppressed. The royal family cannot do anything to the two monarchs, but I am in trouble. Old Chen God King was very uneasy. Suddenly, a terrifying mental wave enveloped Old Chen God King instantly. Old Chen God King felt utterly confused, his consciousness muddled, with no ability to resist. With the eye of life and death from afar, Luo Feng could descend with mental will. With the deepening understanding of the Great Tao, Luo Feng's mental will was also slowly rising. When it exceeded Divine Emperor threshold by 50%, his mental will's strength touched the upper limit of the land of origin. Although the mental will can still very slowly increase, on the land of origin, it can no longer exert stronger powers. The Lai Yuan technique, besides defeating enemies, also includes some secret techniques of suppressing and confusing enemies. Just that in the past, Luo Feng generally aimed to completely annihilate enemies. However, under the mental will of Luo Feng at this moment, Old Chen God King was utterly confused with no ability to resist. With a confused consciousness and no ability to resist, I can indeed examine his memory. Luo Feng thought. With a clear consciousness. Even with the eye of life and death, Luo Feng could only glimpse a few of Old Chen God King's clearest thoughts, unable to browse his memories fully. But a confused consciousness deprived of the ability to resist allowed Luo Feng to easily observe memories. This was an observation ability possessed by high-level primordial life. Indeed, he was dispatched by Lan Duo Monarch, Luo Feng checked, feeling a surging killing intent upon discovery. The most loyal minion of Lan Duo Monarch, fully responsible for the plunder. The plunder in border kingdoms was relatively smaller, given their smaller territorial scope. The wilderness area of the Thunder ancient country, divided in two by Lan Duo and White Demon Monarch. Over 70 eras, the accumulated plundered creatures should reach about 1/20th of the wilderness area's creatures. 1/20th. Luo Feng was very shocked. Thunder ancient country, in terms of scope, may be equal to several first-class kingdoms. However, as the most core and prosperous place on the land of origin, the number of creatures bred here far exceeds some border kingdoms. In the Thunder ancient country, over 90% of creatures reside in the wilderness area. Those who can enter the cities are the minority. Yet for the wilderness area's creatures, these two monarchs have cumulatively plundered about 1/20th. How massive is that number of creatures? The wilderness area is vast, with scattered tribes making it very difficult to tally the total number. However, Old Chen God King, being fully responsible under Lan Duo Monarch, could estimate a rough ratio based on total data. He even had detailed figures of plundered creatures in his memory. This, Old Chen God King's memory contained recollections of repeatedly transporting plundered creatures to Lan Duo Monarch. Each transport scale was measured in trillions of creatures, continuously delivered over 70 eras. The total made Luo Feng's heart tremble. Compared to Lan Duo Monarch, the Emperor of Tian Kuan was insignificant. When an ancient country's monarch goes mad, it's genuinely terrifying, Luo Feng murmured. The number one sinner on the land of origin, Iron Demon Lord, was backed by Di Yuan. Di Yuan should have been the one who plundered the most creatures on the land of origin. Even back then, when teachers like Emperor Chu joined forces to help, Luo Feng still didn't hesitate, and killed Di Yuan. The one who seemed like the second sinner on the surface, Black Vulture Ancestor, was backed by several monarchs from the Thunder ancient country, possibly including Lan Duo Monarch. The dog that can't stop eating excrement, the monarchs of the Thunder ancient country who love devouring creatures, having no Black Vulture Ancestor to help, even laid hands within their country's borders. Luo Feng's eye of life and death at his brow looked towards Mount Leitang. Rumble tilde tilde tilde. Majestic. Magnificent. Unshakable. As the premier holy land of the entire land of origin, even Thunder Ancestor has avatars residing here, such as Land Duo Monarch, White Demon Monarch, and other monarchs also live here. What a Mount Leitang! With his eye of life and death, Luo Feng viewed more of Mount Leitang's mysteries, and could discern its strengths and weak points. Though Mount Leitang is formidable, with my current strength, in conjunction with the Star Tower and the Eye of Life and Death, it's enough to breach it. Luo Feng gazed remotely, looking at the terrifying figure inside a secret space atop Mount Leitang. Yet what makes Mount Leitang truly terrifying is primarily the Thunder Ancestor hidden within. Luo Feng's Eye of Life and Death broke through barriers of Mount Leitang, spatial obstructions, and array obstructions, seeing the true form of Thunder Ancestor. Such a terrifying physical body, his body is much stronger than primogenitor Yang Feng. Luo Feng could observe some fundamentals of the counterpart. A body so powerful as to be inconceivably resistant. If it were outside the land of origin, without the restriction of its capabilities, Thunder Ancestor could probably crush the few secret treasures left by Di Yuan with a flick. Although I can see his weak points, Thunder Ancestor just sitting there, allowing me to attack freely, within the limitations of the land of origin's power, I still can't hurt him whatsoever. If he chooses to shield Mount Leitang, I equally can't breach it. Luo Feng understood this point. If the monarchs were in charge of Mount Leitang, he could breach it. Thunder Ancestor personally taking action? No chance. The same reasoning applies. For him to protect Huyang City, or Galaxy Capital, the two primogenitors couldn't breach them. On the land of origin, Luo Feng, East Extreme Domain Ancestor, Emperor Qing, and the two primogenitors couldn't do anything to each other, and even if one had the upper hand, they couldn't hurt the other. They couldn't do anything to each other, thus requiring mutual compromise. Luo Feng killed Di Yuan, and primogenitor Yang Feng didn't come to see Luo Feng, as if the event didn't happen, just endured it. The royal family godly king committed various sins in the past, and Luo Feng also endured it. Both sides had a tacit understanding. Yet this mutual understanding was broken by Land Duo Monarch and White Demon Monarch. The two of them must die. The batches of plundered creatures in Old Chen God King's memory subjected Luo Feng to uncontrollable killing intent. Such scum cannot be allowed to live. In a hidden space atop Mount Leitang, Thunder Ancestor continued to scrutinize that section of golden finger bone, carefully pondering and researching, when suddenly, Thunder Ancestor. A voice sounded in Thunder Ancestor's ear. Thunder Ancestor gave a jolt, his complexion changed dramatically. Impossible. Thunder Ancestor could not believe it. This is Mount Leitang. Mount Leitang is a divine emperor-level cave mansion secret treasure refined by my own hands. I even personally opened this hidden space, arranging formations. Even Yang Feng could only contact me using communication treasures. Thunder Ancestor, I am Galaxy. Luo Feng's voice sounded. Thunder Ancestor's eyes faintly flashed with lightning. Previously, he hadn't considered the Galaxy ruler, thinking perhaps he was just a junior who barely crossed into the early stage of Divine Emperor. But at this moment, he dared not underestimate him at all. The means to break through Cave Mansion's secret treasures, space, and numerous formation barriers to transmit sounds to his ear was somewhat too terrifying. See a th/overfire.et website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. It seems I underestimated the Galaxy ruler. Thunder Ancestor spoke. Thunder Ancestor, Do you know that the White Demon Monarch and Land Dua Monarch have plundered living beings within the Thunder Ancient Country's borders for a full 70 eras, and the total quantity of plundered creatures has broken the trillions mark? Luo Feng said. Thunder Ancestor was taken aback. Trillions? Even in the Thunder Ancient Country, reaching such a quantity is still considered a vast number of creatures. I have not started a killing spree since I killed Di Yuan. As long as cultivators on the land of origin don't commit great sins, I won't pursue past matters. But with what White Demon and Lan Dua have done, they are utterly disregarding me. Luo Feng's voice sounded in Thunder Ancestor's ear. Of course, they are monarchs of the Thunder Ancient Country, and how they are disposed of naturally should be determined by the primogenitor, Luo Feng transmitted. I will investigate this matter and verify it, Thunder Ancestor responded, then laughed. Galaxy Ruler, your strength is unfathomable. Once this matter is settled, I, Yang Feng, and you, the three of us should gather. Sure. Luo Feng replied, then ceased transmitting, closing his eye of life and death no longer to probe Mount Leitang. The Thunder Ancestor sat on the ground, his gaze cold and deep. He can spy on my secluded and slumbering place, and even transmit sound. Thunder Ancestor pondered. Flame Wind. Thunder Ancestor used the transmission token to transmit sound from afar. How much do you know about the Galaxy Ruler? What happened? Primogenitor Yang Feng asked in confusion through the transmission. I haven't dealt with the Galaxy Ruler. The information I know is the same public information that you know. Just now, he directly transmitted sound to my secluded and slumbering place, Thunder Ancestor said solemnly. Primogenitor Yang Feng was also astonished after hearing this. When venturing outside the source world, they needed to confront the powerful from billions of worlds and battle many low-level primordial life forms. Therefore, they took the safety of their residents very seriously. There was naturally a lot for sale, like cave mansions, secret treasures, and various protective formations. Whether it was primogenitor Yang Feng or Thunder Ancestor, they were undoubtedly cautious in guarding their secluded and slumbering places. We can be sure he hasn't jumped out of the braided cage, Thunder Ancestor said in a low voice, so, making this move, he must have obtained some extremely powerful secret treasure. You mean, truly top-tier secret treasures in infinite space? Primogenitor Yang Feng also guessed. The infinite space treasure vault, with treasures valued at least 100,000 reward points, was also renowned outside the source world. Many half-primordial life beings purchase such treasures regardless of cost. But such treasures are very hard to obtain. Like Emperor Ming, who amassed over 110,000 reward points through outstanding performance in spiritual will. However, the Great Tao realm is fundamental. Emperor Ming did not hesitate to exchange for some inheritances most suited for himself. Therefore, the remaining reward points were insufficient to trade for a secret treasure worth at least 100,000 reward points. For Emperor Ming himself, this was the most suitable choice. His Tao comprehension was rather weak. Under the guidance of a special grade inheritance, with the help of the imperial clan's resources, and under super strong spiritual will, he could not comprehend a complete great Tao. So he chose primordial bloodline cultivation. Tapping into the potential of the primordial bloodline was much easier than understanding the great Tao. Although Emperor Ming did not become ultimate realm, he could even kill most emperors and monarchs in one-on-one situations. Thunder Ancestor initially only amassed several tens of thousands of reward points. Primogenitor Yang Feng barely exceeded 100,000 reward points. But similarly, he spent quite a lot on inheritance. Luo Feng, having accumulated over 200,000 reward points, exchanged for an eye of life and death. The truly top-tier secret treasures of infinite space are said to be prohibited from being taken out of the source world, primogenitor Yang Feng transmitted. The few that can be taken out, those cultivators generally do not carry them. Those that can be traded outside are generally secret treasures worth several tens of thousands of reward points. Those over 100,000 reward points are very few. Even if there were transactions, we wouldn't be in line. Looking at the many source worlds and billions of worlds, where experts from all sides gather, primogenitor Yang Feng and Thunder Ancestor appear ordinary. Yes, such treasures are generally prohibited from being taken out of the source world. Within the source world, we cannot do anything to this galaxy ruler. Thunder Ancestor's heart itched, he was genuinely envious. Compared to the special life remnants and the original secret techniques, the infinite space, with at least 100,000 reward points treasures, is the most special. Over multiple eras, it's rare for even one to emerge. Since he dares to publicly display this means, he's not afraid of us targeting him, primogenitor Yang Feng said. I guess he simply cannot take this treasure out. Thunder Ancestor agreed with his friend's speculation. Why is he looking for you? Primogenitor Yang Feng asked. It's about White Demon and Land Duo, Thunder Ancestor simply explained the matter. Primogenitor Yang Feng understood. It said the galaxy ruler detests evil like a nemesis. It's true. He might want to kill White Demon and Land Duo, but since they are both on Mount Leitang and the galaxy ruler can't kill them, he asks you to deal with it. Me to deal with it? Thunder Ancestor listened, he can't kill them, so I should. The decision is yours, primogenitor Yang Feng transmitted. If you kill them, he might owe you a favor. If you don't, this galaxy ruler, detesting evil, probably won't let it go. Thunder Ancestor laughed. You're right, the decision is mine. Mount Leitang, within the ancient Great Hall. Ancestor. 8 monarchs respectfully knelt down, not daring to look up at the one above. Thunder Ancestor looked down with a cold gaze. Towards the galaxy ruler, he had fear, anger, dissatisfaction, and jealousy. But facing these kneeling monarchs, he couldn't muster any emotions. White Demon, Land Duo, do you too acknowledge your sins? Thunder Ancestor spoke indifferently. White Demon Monarch and Land Duo Monarch trembled inside upon hearing. They were dumbfounded. The reason they dared to plunder within the Thunder ancient country's borders was that they understood the Ancestor's temperament well. The Ancestor was aloof, not caring much even about these monarchs. As for the death of ordinary royal family god kings, Thunder Ancestor cared even less. As long as it didn't affect the entire ancient country's operation, the Ancestor was too lazy to bother. The creatures they plundered amounted to about 1/20th of the wilderness. Over time, it could naturally repopulate. Acknowledge the sins. White Demon Monarch and Land Duo Monarch, though having many thoughts, responded respectfully without hesitation, not daring to rebut. A rebuttal might instantly turn them to ashes. Worse consequences than plundering countless creatures. Since you acknowledge, from today on, you too shall go to the heavenly pillar realm. Either obtain a special life remnant, or an innate secret treasure, Thunder Ancestor said indifferently. If you fail, perish with the land of origin. White Demon and Land Duo were stunned. What? Fail to get treasures, and they must die. Even if they choose to reincarnate, when the land of origin faces destruction, they'll still die. Yes. White Demon and Land Duo, painfully unwilling, could only obey. Thunder Ancestor cast a cold glance at them and then vanished from the throne. These 2 monarchs were excellent tools cultivated by him. How could he easily waste them? Naturally, he pressed them for their abilities. Obtaining a special life remnant is a big gain. An innate secret treasure would be a small gain. White Demon, Land Duo, plundering in the Edge Kingdom is one thing, but plundering within our ancient country. Now the Ancestor has severely punished, you should properly atone. You too presumptuous. The other monarchs showed no sympathy. White Demon and Lan Duo didn't say a word, turning to leave the hall. Huyang City, the quiet room of the City Lord's mansion, inside the Star Tower. On Luo Feng's brow, the eye of life and death opened, watching Mount Leitang from afar. Under his observation, he could see past moments. Past moments worlds seemed to create a continuous massive video, which Luo Feng could easily observe. Like a trace left in flight. All past experiences are imprinted in time and space. The stronger the power, the better the self-concealment. Generally, mastering the complete Great Tao can perfectly hide oneself. However, Luo Feng's Eye of Life and Death was the observational ability of a high-level primordial life outside the braided cage. Even the Thunder Ancestor and primogenitor Yang Feng, Luo Feng, could glimpse some traces. Of course, their communication through transmission tokens couldn't be spied by Luo Feng. Luo Feng, observing past moments, easily discovered the scene where in the Grand Hall at the peak of Mount Leitang, Thunder Ancestor summoned the monarchs. *EA the Novelia.net website, on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Sending them to the Heavenly Pillar realm, forcing them to obtain a special life remnant, or innate secret treasure. Luo Feng frowned. As for their subordinates, not a single one was punished. Having reviewed old Star God King's memories before, he saw many memories where countless creatures were given to Lan Duo Monarch. Lan Duo Monarch's mouth would immediately consume countless creatures. Those scenes had long stimulated Luo Feng to murderous intent. He had already decided to kill those two. But under Mount Leitang's protection, under Thunder Ancestor's shelter, he was also very troubled. So he contacted Thunder Ancestor. I displayed some special means, yet the Thunder Ancestor still didn't take it seriously. Luo Feng shook his head lightly. Forget it. Relying on others is not as good as relying on oneself. It's better to do it myself. Doing it myself, although there's no guarantee. But I have to try. For the countless creatures swallowed. So that strong ones in the land of origin won't dare to recklessly consume creatures in the future. Luo Feng decided to go all out this time. Phew. Two figures traversed a long distance, arriving at one entrance of the treasured location, Heavenly Pillar Realm. All because of you, Lan Duo Monarch said angrily. Under your instigation, I worked with you, and who would have thought it would make the Ancestor so furious this time? You benefited, and now you blame me. White Demon Monarch sneered. At least you, Lan Duo Monarch, have an avatar on Mount Leitang. I have none, and I have to venture to the depths of the Heavenly Pillar Realm with my true body. Once the land of origin is dead, if I don't get treasures, I'll die as well. Lan Duo Monarch was very unwilling. As monarchs, they could leave the land of origin and explore outside initially. Nobody forced you to plunder countless creatures, to swallow countless creatures. White Demon Monarch showed disdain. They continued talking as they entered the Heavenly Pillar Realm entrance. At the entrance of the Heavenly Pillar Realm, both ancient countries had stationed guardians. The one from Flame Wind Ancient Country was Luo Feng. That's Luo he God King. White Demon Monarch and Lan Duo Monarch glanced at Luo Feng in the distance, unwilling to say more. Their mood was bad at the moment. The two monarchs flew into the depths of the Heavenly Pillar Realm. Luo Feng sat cross-legged, responsible for guarding, merely glancing at the two monarchs. Finally, they arrived. At the same moment. Huyang City. They've entered the Heavenly Pillar Realm. Luo Feng's brow Eye of Life and Death watched from afar. Swish. With a step. The first step took Luo Feng to the entrance of the Heavenly Pillar Realm. The second step, Luo Feng explosively forced through the formations of the two ancient countries, already appearing in front of White Demon Monarch and Lan Duo Monarch. White Demon Monarch and Lan Duo Monarch were startled, seeing a silver-robed, gold-masked figure appear ahead, causing a chill in their hearts. This video will end here.